Southeast Missouri head coach Tom Matukewicz. Tuke, how are you?
I'm well, sir.
Hey, we're still hanging with a brick by brick behind you. Tell us a little bit about that for those that may just be coming into this conference and SEMO football overall.
Yeah, it's our mantra. I worked construction my whole life and just kind of been a process driven guy. And so that's really what we try to be. We try not to focus on results. We try to focus on the things that get results. And so that's our brick by brick, not necessarily worrying about the scoreboard, worrying about, just laying a brick as well as we can and then keep repeating it.
Before we get into the bulk of everything football, what is your schedule like from this point on? Have you had a chance to get out, enjoy with your family, a little bit of vacation this summer? What about the student athletes? Kind of set us up for heading into fall camp.
Well, I went on a bucket list trip. So I
Where'd you
went
go?
to I went to Canada on a fly-in fishing trip. I went with my brother. So they drop it's a one of those float planes that drop you off 7 days later, come back and get you up. And we still liked each other and we caught a lot of fish. So it was an amazing trip. And we actually start fall camp. We report Tuesday and first practice is Wednesday because we will open up a week early with a kickoff classic. So we're really here. At the end of the day, our last summer workouts Friday, and then we're getting ready to get it on.
Sounds a lot like me. All 12 of us went on vacation together, the family, and after 6 days, we still love each other too. So I can totally relate to what you're saying.
Right.
If you got a family, so let's talk about this football family. Lots of returning players. Is this the biggest returning class at 60 plus that you've ever had?
I don't know. It definitely we lost. I mean, we have two NFL players right now that was on last year's team, so it's not like we didn't lose some, but we still have a lot of seniors, a lot of juniors in this on this year's team. And so I of course you love that.
At each class with that kind of balance, is that what you really seek to achieve, or does it just happen by working through the system and working their years of eligibility through?
I mean, if we're doing a good job recruiting, we should have, you know, great players in every class. That's our job too. So there should be some freshmen, hopefully, that actually get a little playing time this year that, would signal that we've done a good job recruiting.
All right, let's talk a little bit about some specific personnel. Paxton Laurent, one of the better players coming back in this league, but he only got a half a season in for you last year. What is his status and what does his 2024 look like in your eyes?
He's healthy. He's gotten bigger and stronger. So he's 230. He was in the low 220s, 218s last year. So we asked him to, beef up a little bit. We got to keep him healthy. He took too many hits, too many sacks. And so uh, obviously got to get a run game going better. Offensive line's got to do a good job protecting, and obviously the less hits, the better. Um, to make sure we try to keep him healthy.
With your all-time leading rusher gone, and you just touched on it, they got to run the ball better. I think everybody in this conference, perhaps everybody across the nation, agrees you got to run the football well. But isn't that a little bit more of an emphasis for you losing Geno Hess?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's an identity. Like I want SEMO football when people go, "Hey, you getting ready to play SEMO, boy, you better be able to hold up against the run." So I don't care who we have at quarterback or receivers. I want to be able to run the ball. And so we got some unproven players that have stood out in spring ball and those type of things. And so we'll see how they do. But I feel pretty good about it.
Coming off a down year last year at 4-7, what's the mood been like in the building? What's the mood with Tom Matukewicz and his staff?
I've been pretty growly. At the end of the day, we were 4-7 because I was a 4-7 coach. Thought I would. You think when you're getting your 50s, you figure out how to coach better than I did, and so at the end of the day, we got to learn from our mistakes and move forward. But still a lot of excitement. There's a lot of players that are upset that that was the season we had, and we're pretty humble and pretty hungry right now to, go put some good film out there.
When you look at last season and you've been critical of yourself, what specifically are you looking at? What are those quote areas for improvement everybody likes to talk about?
Well, I didn't use some of the greatest advice that I got. At the end of the day, don't change. And I changed. I altered our practices. I altered how much good on good we're doing, all these type of things because of our roster. And I was worried about getting hurt. And ultimately, I ended up with a team that wasn't very good fundamentally, and we couldn't block and tackle as well as you needed to. And so that's kind of been the emphasis. And that's what I love. I love practices more than games. I love getting better. I love those type of things. And so when you don't get those things, it's pretty tough to watch because that's what you consider really important.
So I took a glance at your website. Yeah, 38 days until you play a football game, which is kind of speaks to the schedule that you talked about in terms of finishing up summer and getting right into the fall. Are you happy with playing that early? I mean, it's a great opportunity for you to play standalone game on ESPN. Is that something you feel like you can get ready in your fall preparations for and be ready to play basically a week zero game?
I don't know. I've never done it oddly. I've been coaching for 30 years and I've never opened up early. So it's just unique. I'm not sure. But it's the same thing. I mean, we get the same amount of practices. So that part has not changed. So I don't necessarily worry about opening up. I worry about maybe, I look like I'm strung out on drugs week 8, because you've started and there's no days off till December, 7 days a week, till December. So, at the end of the day, that's kind of the thing you got to try to manage and make sure you're fresh each week, and that your team's, excited and fresh and ready to play.
Been your recruiting emphasis in the offseason preparing for 2024?
Well, it's just like it always is, the foundation is going to come from high schools. We want to have 3 and 4 year kids, and then we just look to try to top off the tank a little bit, with some needs. Someone hits the portal, something, try to replace that, with the portal. But, we had 2 kids, one get drafted, one sign a free agent. So we've recruited well here. The days of having draft picks might be over because of the portal. But for us to still have one last year was pretty impressive.
A lot of movement, but you could bet whoever the last school was that the student athlete was at will claim them as having developed him all along and being drafted, right? So, sometimes it's not bad to be last in that case. Wanted to ask you about Bryce Norman, your linebacker, a lot of preseason accolades. What's your expectations of him?
Yeah, I think I've met with the seniors more than I have in the past because that was something I feel like we didn't do well last year. Every great team I've been a part of, the seniors left playing their best ball. That's going to be hard for Bryce because he's played a lot of great ball. But I think he's ready for that. I think, physically, the work he's put in this winter and summer has really helped him, and have him poised to just, make those game changing plays he can make. He's a guy that's going to always make a lot of tackles, but I'm talking about the sack, strip, fumble, pick six, those type of things that, I really think he has a chance to really make a name for himself.
And here's another senior for you, Jodrick Lewis in the back.
Yeah, Joe Edrick is, our best DB coming back from a year ago. He's a guy that we've asked to kind of take on a bigger leadership role verbally. There'll probably be 3 guys back there that are new, and so he's done a really good job of making sure those guys understand the standard that we need to have in the back end and holding them accountable.
How about a quick update on the Houck improvements and what's going on around campus, particularly around the football facility?
Yeah, a lot of exciting things. And so we're finalizing our drawings for our new press box and a 4-story. It's going to be 6 stories, 2-story press box on top of 4 stories of facilities. So there'll be some other sports in there. Football will be in there, new training room, locker rooms, offices, and all those type of things. It's about a $30 million project. Hopefully it'll go out to bid and we can maybe get started in early winter of next year. It's about an 18-month build is what they're saying. So we'll still have another season without a press box. But 2 years from now, I may be dead, but SEMO football will be in the best shape of it that it's ever been.
We're hoping not for that, Tom. I promise.
Wow. We'll see.
Remember what's behind you, brick by brick. Gonna get it going. Hey, pleasure to see you again. Great to visit, and also best of luck to you on getting an improved season versus 2023 and 2024.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Thank you, Tom.